Okay, for question number 5 of our final exam review video for 1105, we are given a function, f of x equals 6x squared plus 11x minus 10. And we are asked to locate, or rather not locate, but find its zeros. All right, a zero of a function, by definition, is an x value that makes the y value of the function 0. Now remember, if I have f of x equals 6x squared plus 11x minus 10, another way to write f of x is y. So it's very important to remember f of x, which is output, is the same as the letter y. So, if I ask you to find the zeros of a function, I want to know what x values make y equal to 0. So in other words, y, which is also f of x, becomes 0. And I have to find the x values that make that happen. So doing this algebraically as I'm approaching it here, I've set up this equation, 6x squared plus 11x minus 10 is 0. Now to solve a quadratic equation, of course you could always use the quadratic formula, but I teach my students to try to see if it can factor first. The greatest common factor of these three terms is a 1. Because it's a trinomial, I will see if it perhaps came from the product of two binomials. And again, this is sort of a guessing trial and error method. For 6x squared, I'm going to try a 3x and a 2x. But again, remember, one possibility may be a 6x and a 1x. You're just not psychic. That's why the method's called trial and error when you're factoring a trinomial. Okay, the last two numbers multiply together to give me a negative 10, which means one sign is positive and one is negative. And because I've been factoring basically since birth, I can factor fairly quickly. I see that I have to put a plus 5 here, and I have to put a minus 2 here. I mean, really, give me a break. My mother was a variable, my father was an exponent, so, I mean, they expected me to factor at a young age. One person we don't talk about much in my family is my sister, because she was a vertical asymptote, and that's a little bit of an embarrassment to everybody. Now, when I have factored this correctly, and you can see that this is correct because when I do the outer and the inner product, 3x times 5 is 15x, minus 4x gives me the 11x in the middle. I have two factors multiplied together to give me 0. So that gives me two cases. That means that either 3x minus 2 is 0 or 2x plus 5 is 0. In this first case, 3x is equal to 2. When I divide by 3, x is 2/3. So one of my answers is 2/3. My other answer, when I take 2x plus 5 and set it equal to 0, 2x is negative 5, x is equal to negative 5/2. Therefore, this function has two real zeros, namely the number x is 2/3 and the value x is negative 5/2. Now, you were asked to write these as zeros, so we write the answer as x equals and x equals. And we're done. If the original equation that you set up did not factor, the quadratic formula would be a very appropriate way to solve it.